My name is Arya. Welcome to this week's episode of Connect the Dots. It is Leo season, peak summer, and today, Thursday, is the new moon in Leo. And what that means is the sun and the moon are hanging out from the perspective of Earth in the constellation, the zodiac of Leo. Now, Leo has many common associations. One of them is, of course, the lion, courage. But planetarily, it is associated with the sun itself, radiating, life-giving. It's actually the only planet it's actually the only sign in the whole, in all the 12 signs of the zodiac that is associated with the sun itself and not a planet like Jupiter or Pluto or Mercury. So this is not surprising to us. And there's a beauty that in the Northern Hemisphere, the season of Leo is peak summer heat, right? The ease with which warmth and the life-giving nature of our essence, of our soul, radiates outwards. And to me, this is a beautiful invitation with this specific new moon in Leo. And that invitation is to radiate the essential love that we already are out into the parts of ourselves, into all parts of ourselves, including the ones that we have hidden away, the parts of ourselves that we repress, the parts of ourselves that we label as wrong, blamed, shameful. There are a lot of reasons why we do that. There is legitimate trauma. There might be pain. There might be unimaginable grief and anger and abandonment. We have a lot of reasons why we repress or hide away or hide from other people, even hide from ourselves, parts of ourselves that we feel unworthy of love or being loved. And this is that beautiful unifying, bringing together essence of Leo as I'm feeling. Because it's this funny thing. When any of us are around people who are truly authentic, we can try and name it, but really it's a feeling. We feel ourselves relax in their presence. We may notice that we suddenly start to share things with them that we don't really talk about, right? We start telling them we start showing them parts of ourselves. We start telling them things that we sort of hide or keep really keep sort of tightened or hidden. And that's sort of the beauty with authenticity that I think is so natural with Leo energy. It is an invitation for us to feel all parts of ourselves and to come to this unifying space of self-acceptance where the first person to accept the castaway, exiled, damaged, broken, shattered, shamed parts of us, that first person to do that is us. And when we are able to come to that place, we can then unify more parts of us and then radiate that outwards. And I think to some degree, that is what the felt sense of authenticity is. And I know the people in my life who are really pillars and champions of authenticity, this is what they remind me of, right? I feel I can do that. Maybe a lot of us can do that in moments. But there are other moments that are so challenging, and then we default to these patterns of hiding or repressing parts of ourselves because it's not safe. And so that negotiation, that felt sense of navigating, opening, accepting, bringing all these fractalized parts of ourselves back home, that's really... And I'm finding in this new moon especially, we're really encouraged to do that. And there's a lot of support. So if this is up your alley, I'm going to share with you a little invitation. And in your own time, later this week or this weekend, I would love for you, if you took this invitation, if you did this, to take a few moments. And then if you feel called, share with me or with all of us what that felt like for you. And the invitation is this: keep about 10 or 15 minutes at minimum. You can obviously take longer if you need to. Come to a centered place where you're sitting, breathing into your body exactly as it is. As your breathing spiral your breath deeper and deeper into your heart, the sides of your chest, the sides of your hips. In our body, our side body is also what keeps us contained and integrated. And so there's a lovely sense of freedom we get when we breathe into the front and back, but also the sides of us. And when you're ready, using the power of your memory, if you call upon a memory of yourself, a version of yourself that you are not so pleased with, you're not so happy with. It could be a child or a teenage version. It could be something you did or said yesterday. Maybe you reacted to something and you wish you did it differently. A version of yourself that you're a little bit unhappy or uncomfortable with. It could even be a part of your body that you've been noticing that you're, kind of being mean to, right? We all have that. And so if you call this part of you, this version of you, to your consciousness and visualize yourself, your current self, living and breathing. And it's really helpful to do this with eyes closed, because you can bring in your mind's eye, you can bring up the version of yourself that you're having a bit of difficulty with, right? And feel your feelings, the feeling of resistance, rejection, maybe there's shame, maybe there's a lot of story. And your breath is what grounds you. Your breath into your body, into your side body, into your hips, into your legs, into your side chest. And notice what rises for you. Notice what comes up. Because the invitation is this: to take aspects of ourselves that we have cast away, that we have dictated as unbelonged, unworthy, damaged, broken, whatever, and call them back home, reintegrate them. The beautiful thing with the association of sun in Leo is that in astrology, the sun is the radiant light of our consciousness, that which already shines forth. We may not experience it all the time, every day. We may lose connection to it, but that's because of our own thoughts and our emotions. But it still shines. It still radiates out. And so what we're doing is we are calling, holding the hand, and if we can, hugging and holding this exiled part of ourselves as if we are holding a beloved child, someone we love so dearly. And this is the love we offer ourselves. The Leo archetype in the human body is associated with the heart, the consistent, ever pumping organ that keeps us alive, right? That radiates life. And so the invitation is this: as you call upon this aspect of yourself that was previously exiled, and you negotiate and feel within yourself the feelings that live here as you integrate this part of yourself back in. And it's beautiful because you may not want to, right? There are reasons we've cast our own selves out and aside. And so this aspect of being the anchor and being the giver and both the recipient of our own unconditional love is simply that. It is a practice and it is a choice. So if we can draw our love into ourselves, we can then soften. We can then move from force, blame, anger, resistance, fight to allowance. And this, I think, is one piece of a much larger journey as we come into self-acceptance and we stand in that true acceptance of ourselves that knows that there are light and shadow, good and bad, quirky, weird, and delightful parts of us. And that authenticity and the self-acceptance is that we accept all of it. It's not someone else's job to accept all of it. It is ours. And to give ourselves the space and the practice to do so, that is a beautiful, beautiful gift and medicine of this Leo season, kicking off with this new moon in Leo today. So I will leave you with that. I hope this meets you and reaches you wherever you are today. From my heart to yours, have a beautiful summer's day. Bye.